Well, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. As I understand you very well, education really is very important, especially the world that we live in today. And the most important thing that nation have to do is to educate the youth, because the youth are one that will come eventually. The mantle of responsibility is going to be on their shoulder. Not only that, the youth have a vibrant, nature that they easily understand what is happening in the world that we live in, because they have sort of like they are very, very much glued to researching and stuff like that. And any nation that does not invest in educating the youth is tantamount to failing. The youth can cause a change in that they have that yearning to drive a nation to let it go to the next level. And without education, you can, achieve all these things. They are the next ones in line. And so I think we should do the best that we can to educate the youth. Yes. Okay, that's also very true, because we know today that parenting or child rearing, it promote and support the physical, psychological, emotional, and the educational part of a human being. The parent have to inculcate good etiquette in the child, so that when the child grows, he become the apple of the nation, not just for the family. So it's very, very important that we have to educate them. In doing so, the parent have to play their part, and the part that they do is the one that they have to do it at home, because they always say to us that charity actually begins at home. Well, I understand very well the level of violence today that you find in the street, at home, everywhere, in the place of work, and in institutions. There's just so many things going on that sometimes you have to sit back and just want to look and see what's going on, because the trend is that the youth today somehow are very their blood, I don't know if it's the hormone or something that is charging them to want to do it today. They just want to do it right now, as opposed to back then. Our parents, they take their time to do things. Good thing doesn't happen at a blow. It takes time, but youth today don't see it that way. So therefore, we tend to have this kind of thing. And so I think it's very important that we have to deal with that, inshallah. We know very well that they say that it takes a village to raise a child. That means if you have children, or if you have a child, they have friends out there, they play together, they do a lot of things together. So if you want to teach your children, make sure in addition, the community also, because if you educate your son alone or your ward alone, and if he comes back home, he comes back home and he go outside, he's got the same friends. The same friends outside, they're going to corrupt whatever you think he should know. So definitely, when you are raising your children, don't make it seem like, okay, I'm the only parent, I'm not going to let nobody to reproach him if they do something wrong, something like that. And because that's what is happening today. So allow the child to be raised by the community. In Africa, in Asia, in most of the Middle East, in Europe, I don't know about that. But in this part of the world, that is what is happening. I grew up in the same, community, that the whole community actually took care of me. And that's why you have that mercy, that kindness in your heart. So I think we have to promote that angle of thought, inshallah. Yeah, that is very true. There is the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the right of the community, and the right of the parent, and the right for the child himself. So in most cases, people think, okay, he's my son, I'm going to scold him, I'm going to do whatever I want to do with him. No, you could do that, yes, but at the same time, you have to understand that there are certain lines that you don't have to cross. Especially today, most parents, they get angry quickly, and they lash upon their children in front of their friends, and they disgrace them and say to them certain things, and that child get angry. That's what is causing child delinquency. That is what is causing child running away from home. So if you want to scold your children, let them be alone in your house, so you could tell them and talk to them and let them understand a lot of things, in a very beautiful setting. The approach, the way you speak, the language, the choice of word, the diction that you apply in doing that will make the child to listen. Children of today are not the same like when we was growing up. So we have to find a trend to let them, to communicate with them. You have to speak their language, So therefore, I don't think it's right all the time in front of everybody to scold your children. They don't like it, especially the children of today. My era, no problem. But these children of today is something else. You have to find a way, inshallah.